So we are going to kick things off by having a look at a short clip from Football Meta. Football Meta's a really great YouTube channel. I highly recommend their stuff. They make great videos. You'll learn a lot, not just for English, but also for football. So this is a short snippet from a video of Football Meta speaking about the difference between zonal marking and man marking. Of course, there is a link in the description to the full video. So we'll watch the snippet and then we'll go through it section by section to have a look at the vocabulary and just discuss what it all means. Here we go.
Now, on the other end of the spectrum, we have zonal marking systems. These systems have the advantage of being unfazed by a striker's movement, and the back line will move as a unit to cover certain spaces depending on where the ball is. Maurizio Sarri is a manager that has relied on this system for his whole managerial career. His back four start in a line and shift as a unit depending on the location of the ball. Independently of how many attackers are near the defensive line, their reference is the position of the ball, and have essentially scripted movements to follow to ensure dangerous spaces are covered. The pros of this system are that a team's movement can be scripted to ensure they know their positioning in specific situations, and a manager has more freedom in where to deploy his defense. For example, he can choose how narrow or how wide he wants his backline to be, how high up the pitch or how low, depending on the quality of each opponent.
So there are some great words and phrases there that you need to know if you want to speak fluent football. We'll start with this one here.
These systems have the advantage of being unfazed by a striker's movement.
Unfazed. If you are unfazed by something, it means it does not affect you. It's not important to you, or it means nothing to you. It's not the most common usage of the word here, but it makes sense. What he's saying is the defensive line does not react when the striker moves. They are unfazed by the movement of the striker. Usually unfazed would relate to something more mental rather than physical. So for example, if you made it to the Champions League final, you're playing and you see all the people, everyone's screaming, all the cameras are on you. If you get nervous, if you get scared in the moment and you don't play very well, you are phased. However, if you're a great player, if you're Messi, Ronaldo, Maradona, and you play to the best of your ability, the crowd means nothing, the cameras mean nothing, you don't care, or maybe you even love the excitement, you love the situation, you are unfazed. It does not affect you.
His back four start in a line and shift as a unit depending on the location of the ball.
Move or shift as a unit. Move or shift mean the same thing, just change position. The key words here are as a unit. If you do something as a unit, you do it together. So when he says the defensive line moves as a unit, it means they all move together. If the right back moves up, the others move either to cover his position or they move up with him. Whatever they're doing, they do it all together.
Maurizio Sarri is a manager that has relied on this system for his whole managerial career.
Rely on. If you rely on something, you have a lot of faith or you have a lot of trust in something. So here he gives the example of Maurizio Sarri speaking about the fact that he relies on a zonal marking system. So basically, Sarri has a lot of trust, has a lot of faith in his zonal marking system. He believes it will work. Rely on can also mean you need something to have success. Let's take the example of a player like Kylian Mbappe. Very talented, very creative, very intelligent player, but also very fast. Very fast. Now, if Mbappe were not as fast as he is, would he score the same number of goals? He would probably find a way to score a lot of goals. Like we said, very intelligent, very creative, very tricky, but he does use his speed to get in behind the defensive line and score a lot of goals. So we would say Mbappe relies on his speed.
And have essentially scripted movements to follow to ensure dangerous spaces are covered.
Scripted movements. When you watch a TV show or you watch a film, the people, the actors, when they're speaking, they are saying the words that are on a piece of paper. This piece of paper is a script. The actors, they already know what they will say when they start filming. It's the same thing here. The movements are scripted. It's another way to say the movements are planned. The defensive line, they're not making new decisions and thinking of new ideas and ways to defend in the moment. All the movements are planned. All the situations are planned. They are scripted movements.
And a manager has more freedom in where to deploy his defense.
Deploy. To deploy players just means to put players in a particular position. For example, you can deploy the center forward close to the opponent's goal, or you can deploy the defensive line high up the pitch. But deploy is a word that we use when we speak about the military or the army. Generals and commanders, they deploy their troops. They put their soldiers in particular places. Right now, with what's happening in Russia and Ukraine, the Ukrainians and the Russians, they deploy troops in particular places. So when you use deploy to speak about positioning your players, you give it a bit more of a serious sound rather than saying you put players in particular places.
For example, he can choose how narrow or how wide he wants his backline to be.
Narrow and wide. Across the pitch, we use the adjectives narrow and wide to talk about the placement of the players. For example, if your players are all close together in the center, then they are deployed in a narrow formation. If your players go all the way to the wings, all the way to the sides, then they are deployed in a wide formation.
How high up the pitch or how low, depending on the quality of each opponent.
High and low, same idea as narrow and wide, except we're talking about up and down the pitch from one goal to the other. If your defensive line is close to your own goal, it is low. If your defensive line is up the pitch towards the halfway line, or maybe even past the halfway line, they are high. I'm always looking for videos and content to discuss to help you improve your English. So if you've seen any videos recently, any interviews perhaps with coaches or players, and you want me to discuss this and explain some of the vocabulary, just let me know in the comments section below and I'll have a look at it.